Hi guys, it's Damaris. I have a project share today, and before my week gets hectic, I decided I would do it now and put it away. I purchased a birdcage from Michael's a while ago. You might have seen it. It was a white one. They had different colors, but I wanted white just to make it easier on me and not having to paint it or anything. So, I made a bird mini album that it fits in a bird cage when I put the tail through these slots. But to save time, I kept it out of the slots because it takes a little bit of force to take them out of the slots. I did it already a few times. And to save some time for the video, I just left it on top here. But it does fit. And the beak fits also through the slots. Anyway, and it closes with the hook. Okay, so I made this project, and a lot of the things I used was from Karla's Etsy shop. And since she had asked me to be on her design team for July and August, her guest design team, I don't know, I've just been using a lot of more of her stuff lately, and it's not my month to do any projects for her, but I was gonna wait to show you this video until July. But a couple of reasons. Number one, she might not have any of these products in stock because they're older, and number two, it's a Mother's Day project, and you guys have a week if you wanna, you know, do this, complete this project for your mom. You guys have a whole week to do it because it only took me really 2 days to do. So as I said, the birdcage was purchased at Michael's. This was originally $14.99, so I paid half off of that with a coupon, or was it 40% off? Can't be sure. Let me just take it out to show you what it looks like. So it looks like this, and I decorated the top here with a ton of wild orchid crafts, flowers, and some of these little bubbles. I like to call them bubbles. These that look like they got sugar on them. I decorated all around the back. These little bubbles, like I was saying, is from Michael's. Here's a little ceramic flower from Karla. And yeah, so it's mostly all wild orchid crafts. And then at the bottom, I put a doily at the bottom here, plastic paper doily, because I didn't want any of the green moss, Spanish moss, to, like, even though you see, look at all that, it already is coming out. But I think it would hold it better with the doily under, you know, in the bottom. And then this was a spray that I purchased at Michael's a while ago, and it was a complete spray. One of those candle reef looking sprays that you just put on a table and a candle in the middle. Well, I basically curled all the edges. That's why everything's like twirled. And I just sat it in the center in there. And that was it. Wrapped it around the bars of the birdcage so that it could look like it's naturally growing out of the birdcage. And then this is the Reina bling that I used from Karla's Etsy. I just cut it up and just, my bad, it's mesh bling. This is mesh bling. And I used it all around on these two sides, only on these two. And so let's continue. Oh, and then these little metal butterflies I sell in my Etsy shop. If you're interested in these, I use them on mostly all of my projects. So here's the mini album, and the mini album has 4 chipboard pieces. And this I purchased at Michael's. I think it was $1.50 earlier in the year. I think I gave some away in a it was either a rack or a giveaway that I had. I think it was a giveaway. And I used the pink paisley collection for this album. Give me a second while I collect my thoughts and remember the name of the pink paisley paper. Spring Jubilee, yes, that's the one. I used some of her chipboard also. That's this piece right here. And then for the cover, that's my mommy. If you guys have watched a few videos before, one last year around this time, this was a picture I took of us when we were cropping together, when we made those Easter bunnies. And a lot of you saw the video. They said it was funny, yada yada. Okay, so back here, as you can see, pink paisley does not make this pattern. What I did was, this is a stencil, and I distressed on top of the stencil all around. It's either on the page itself or in the border of the picture, which you'll see later on. Here's a buckle with a bling, and I sell those buckles in my Etsy shop. Here's a rub-on, and I love using rub-ons for basically everything. Some more Wild Orchid Crafts flowers over here. Here's a butterfly that I sell on my Etsy shop. And then this frame here, this is from Michael's. Excuse me, that I got earlier in the year, and I used bling on a roll to bling the inside of it, which I love doing. And then on the end over here, I added some feathers, and I added some of this rosette trim in white. I don't know who makes it, I forgot, might have been Maya Road. Some more Wild Orchid Crafts flowers, and then inside back here I added some sprays. These wheat leaves from Karla's Etsy shop. And then these here, I think these are the ones that I got from Sharon in Iraq back in February. So I've been using my goodies. So that's the cover, and then the way you open it is you pull this, and this is some seam binding I got on Etsy a while ago. And I made it so that it basically stretches open so that my mom won't have a problem turning the pages. So this is the first intro page, and I sprayed on the stencil here. I sprayed it instead of distressed it, and it got little dots, and there's a bling. And here it says my mother. Here's a rub-on chipboard piece from the collection. This die cut, this doily die cut by MFT. And here's my mom and her mom in Brooklyn. That was I think it was last September. Then on this end, I added some rosette trim that I got in a rack from Sharon like a year ago, and I have been hoarding. I inked up the edges over here because I didn't want to add so many flowers, so many feathers. Wild Orchid Crafts, and then a crystal little butterfly, which I will be selling in my Etsy soon, so stay tuned for that. And then this one is a little more subtle with the chicken wire background here. This is a picture of my mom and my dad in the backyard where they live, and I put some pearls around the edges to make like a little frame. This is a rub-on, a buckle with the pearl, and then some more of that trim. There's another crystal butterfly which I will sell also, and this is a an acrylic rose. Wild Orchid Crafts flowers that I twirl, and that's it. And I'm trying to get through this quickly because I don't want to pass my time. So this next page is my sister and her whole family when they came down last summer, and it was her birthday, so we cut a cake, we did a surprise party, you know, I got the decorations and the balloons and stuff, and so that's why this rub-on says Rich Traditions. And this is die cut from Spellbinders, a Wild Orchid Crafts flower here, buckle with the pearl, rosette trim again from the rack that Sharon sent me, an acrylic flower with some more Wild Orchid Crafts, and then the chicken wire background. Again, I love it. I'm in love with that chicken wire. Between that and the hexagons, I'm going mad. Okay, so the next page is my... Did I skip a page? I sure did. I skipped my brother. Sorry guys, gotta go back. Here's my brother, dad, mom, my niece, my second nephew, whatever. Okay, so chicken wire background, buckle, bird, this purple to match her shirt because it's purple, acrylic flower, some trim, Wild Orchid Crafts, and the stencil background with the die cut and the rub-on. Basically every page has the same format, and then comes my sister, because it's in order of age. I added all my siblings to this mini. Here's my brother, and I die cut these two pieces out. This time I added the stenciling on the back piece here. The rub-on says our son. This is wife Kim, and there's Gio, and he was just as Mickey for his birthday. He's so cutie pie. Yeah, that's the only like recent picture I have of them, so that's why Gio's in the picture. And then this is a green rosette that I had in my stash. This is Webster's Pages, some acrylic flowers, and that's about it. And then the last one is me and my hubby, and it says baby girl because I'm the last one. And this one already has a gorgeous background on the paper. So I decided to do the stenciling on the die cut here. And this is when we slept over the house when my brother was staying over last summer. We had a big sleepover, and that was I think the night before the sleepover or something, I don't know. Rosette trim, Wild Orchid Crafts flowers, an acrylic butterfly, and that rub-on, and then the buckle with the pearl, and another Wild Orchid Crafts. And in the back, I did stenciling on the whole back. I'm going to have to sign my name and everything there. And then in the back I added the feathers. I didn't add the crystals. I only added the feathers. I didn't want it to be too bulky. And then the trim from Sharon, and then Wild Orchid Crafts flower. So that is my... And then the same binding, I made huge knots. I think I tied it like 6 times so that the mini won't fall out. Now, let me put it back together. You just pull it back together and make a little bow. And there's your little mini. And I really liked doing this. Like I said, it took 2 days from start to finish, from grabbing the Birdcage and grabbing all the supplies and grabbing the mini and pulling it out of the plastic and covering it and distressing it. By the way, I used I think it was Vintage Photo or Walnut. I always forget the ones I use, but it's those two I mainly use. I think it might have been Walnut because it's darker. So that's the mini. I hope you liked it. I hope you're inspired to do something special for your mommies. And for those of you that don't have your mommies, I'm so sorry. You know, I don't know what I would do if I lost my mom. I would be so sad. I mean, she does so much for me. She helps me with Gio when I need like a break, a day off. She takes him, and you know, she cooks for us once in a while. Like, she's such a great mom, and I appreciate her, and I want her to know how much I appreciate her, because I can't buy her like a trip to Puerto Rico. I can't buy her, you know, a Louis Vuitton bag, but I can make her a mini, which is just as special, that she would cherish. And she loves my work. Like, she's my biggest fan. So, and she loves like when people come over, she shows my work to her friends, and they're like, oh my god, that's beautiful. So to her, it's like, you know, it gives her a little bit of pride to be able to show, you know, oh, my daughter made this for me, whatever. So anyway, that's about it. Well, I'm not only gonna give her this, obviously, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I can't give her like, you know, a $500 gift, but I can give her this, which is just as valuable. Whew, that's a lot of talking. Alright, so I am headed out, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's Cinco de Mayo. Don't drink and drive. Please be careful. And I will talk to you soon on the next project. Bye, guys. Have fun. Bye.